Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another episode of The Breakdown, a Call of Duty talk show where we break everything Call of Duty down for you on methods. You guys know Scump Abner.
It's me, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in. I want to thank you all very, very much for tuning in with us throughout the weekend for the watch party. But now, we have to break everything down for you guys. What happened this weekend and all that good stuff. We've got Team of the Week. We've got Top 10. We've got a lot in store for you guys today. It was a great first weekend of matches. There were actually a lot of very, very solid matches this weekend. The schedule was, sometimes it is a little bit of a snooze fest, especially towards the end of the season. You know, obviously a lot of teams out of playoff contention, but this weekend we had top 4 teams playing a lot. We have the Vegas versus the Rocker race. We got a lot going on right now, Zin.
Yeah, like you said, crazy weekend of matches. You're a huge pussy, and obviously we've had some great matches all weekend long. Watch party was crazy. Optic with a big match today, but some sleeper matches I think this past weekend. And
you think so?
We're gonna break it down for you on our first segment, the weekend review. Abner, talk to me. I want to know what matches sort of flew under the radar for you. What were your favorites? Maybe, I mean, obviously you have Optic Phase, you have Thieves. Like these are matches that we expect to love. Talk to me about who surprised you.
Well, some of my favorite matches of the week. First off, I'm going to start with the first one, which was one of my personal favorites, Vegas versus Optic. Vegas obviously backs against the wall. They need to perform. They went 1-1 this weekend. But they force Optic all the way to a round 11, game 5, and then we see FaZe play Optic today, and Optic absolutely steamroll them. And I've been saying Vegas looks pretty solid online right now. People aren't really agreeing with that because of their major performance, but last online split they went 4-1, and it looks like they're playing pretty good. They also beat New York 3-2, and New York goes on to beat Thieves today. So Vegas are playing some high-level Call of Duty right now. Whether you want to admit it or not, they're playing good. Yeah,
so we saw the new and improved, maybe, Boston Breach. They win 3-1 in St. Paul, Minnesota, on land. It actually wasn't on land, you know that? They were in a land setting, but it was actually a Chicago server they played on. I found that out earlier today, yeah. So weirdly enough, they host a LAN, but I guess for whatever reason, it actually wasn't an actual LAN match. So Boston takes Rocker 3-1. London's woes continue. They lose 3-0.
I do want to say on this game, there is no actual LAN. It's technically you're on a server all the time. But
really?
Yeah, there's no LAN.
Even at majors?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think so.
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure they're still playing on like a Texas server or whatever server they're at. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think you might be faded about the major one.
You think so?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure majors are LAN now. I'm pretty sure. We need some clarification. Florida take out LAG 3-2 today in game 5 fashion.
Yeah, a lot of people had that one as a snoozer today, but it ended up being a good match. Florida ends up 1-0 in their first weekend. Potentially a winner's bracket berth for Florida. You know, Obviously they've got 4 more matches throughout the split, but they get the job done today.
Also, let's talk about how good Ultra's looking. I mean, Ultra, they go 2-0. They 3-0 Surge.
Ultra's back.
Yeah, they 3-0 Surge. They beat the defending champions in Thieves 3-1. So matches were great.
To be fair, though, I don't know, because Thieves are looking a little bit shaky.
Yeah, Thieves, I'm not sure what's going on. I feel like they have the biggest discrepancy from LAN to online compared to any team. Like on LAN, I feel like they're always going to be a threat. Like never will you walk over Thieves on LAN. Like they're just they're a well-oiled machine.
A lot
they play
of experience
together
on that team.
But online, I mean, right now,
0-2.
They're not putting it together.
But their remaining matches, they are a little bit easier. I think they play a London. I think they play an LAG in there. Perhaps Florida, maybe. That's just off the top of my head. I could be a little bit wrong on that. But yeah, Thieves staring down the barrel of a potential loser's bracket start at Major 5, which would be not too big of a shock because we saw it happen to Toronto as well after they went on to win the Major. They had a pretty rough. They went 1-4 in their next online split. So maybe there's a curse if you win a major. If you win,
you start getting slammed.
Win a major, you come home and you start getting slammed. I don't know what's really going on there, but Toronto's looking good.
Toronto looks great.
They look like a contender again. So we'll have to watch out for them. And then just a couple matches from today, we see Optic 3-0 FaZe. I mean, were you surprised about that? Optic has had FaZe's number this whole year. They've been just having their way with FaZe.
I wasn't surprised necessarily. I was surprised by the map too. I think Embassy, Search and Destroy, the bread and butter for FaZe. You kind of expect them to come out and win that. And FaZe kind of throw that one. Optic obviously clutched up a huge 1v1 from Brandon with that snipe. Vac for Shotzi. He's wall banging players in corners.
That was insane.
Optic, they battle back. They take map 2. Hardpoint Fortress, I mean, I think we all saw that coming. That's Optic's best map. I think.
Stop playing them.
I think FaZe flipped the coin there.
I don't know why people even try it.
Well, the issue there is, I mean, FaZe has tried their hand against Optic multiple times on Mercado Hardpoint and no cigar every single time.
So you thought, They
said, you know what? I think the way I think of it is everyone vetoes Fortress against them, so FaZe is probably thinking they don't have as much tournament reps as they used to have on it, so maybe they've fallen off the horse a bit there.
They're 8-0 since Major 3.
The proof is in the pudding. Today, they are still strong on Fortress. But FaZe, they get steamrolled. Expo Control wasn't close either. It was a masterclass from Optic.
That was a stomping, which was a little bit surprising. Obviously, we don't really have as many reps watching that map, watching some of these teams play it, because it obviously was added recently into the rotation. But Optic looked like a masterclass on that. They get it done. We saw a 2-person clutch there in one of the rounds. So Optic looks very good on Himmelmatt now, which is great, because one of the things, Optic was struggling on Al-Bagra Control, but that map gets taken out, and now they're looking good on Himmelmatt. So good for them. And then our last match of the day, I don't think a lot of people had this one going the way it did. New York Subliners take down Thieves 3-2. Almost a reverse sweep.
Yeah, Thieves battle back, but unfortunately, it's Caesar Skies coming up clutch in Game 5 with multiple 1v2s. They take it 6-2. Hydra had a pop-off map, and Thieves, our defending champions who looked unfuckable, really, at the Major, come out slow, slow.
Yeah. But that's our weekend recap. I think it's been a very good first weekend. I'm excited for the following weekends. We're going to get at Las Vegas versus Minnesota, I think, in the third week, which is going to be huge. It might even be next weekend.
We look fucking good.
Do we?
Dude,
I was saying before, I think I need a haircut. It's getting to that point.
Yeah, we look nice.
It's getting to that point. But that was the weekend recap, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. For anyone that maybe missed some of the matches. Next up, let's get into our next segment of the Team of the Week.
Yeah, you guys know the drill, the breakdown Team of the Week, where we pick 4 players that stood out to us. Obviously, we had a ton of good matches, but these 4 players went above and beyond, whether it was a certain series, a certain mode, a certain map. These guys stood out to us. Once again, I say it every time. You could always make the argument, this guy played better, this guy's stats were better. These guys stood out to us.
Yes, and that's ultimately what matters.
Correct.
Here on the breakdown. We kind of spoiled a couple of the people that are going to be on a little bit earlier, but it's really no surprise. But let's get into it. Do you want to start us off, or would you like me to, Zin?
I'll take him, man. This kid talks shit, but he backs it up. He's in the running, he is at the forefront, and he is the favorite for Rookie of the Year. It is Toronto Ultra's Scrap.
Yes. And a lot of people argue, like Dan Ghosty coming in, perhaps maybe he has a vote right now for Rookie of the Year. Personally, I just think it's kind of hard to disagree with what this guy's doing. Scrap has been unbelievable all year. They're champions this year as well, which also adds on to things. He has a 1.51 so far this stage.
Yeah.
And that's across 2 matches. That's across Seattle and Thieves as well. A 1.51 against those 2 teams is kind of ludicrous, Zin.
Yep.
Luda.
Luda. The kid is lights out, and I respect him as a player. I mean, he's someone who's going to talk that shit, and he's backing it up with gameplay. I mean, to have a 1.5 against top slang and top caliber teams like that is impressive. A 1.53 versus Thieves. He set the hardpoint single map record at 43.
I just want to point something else out, because this jumps off the screen. Hardpoint damage per 10 minutes, 3,772.
And let me just tell you, there is no one close to that.
Yeah.
There is no one close. The next closest person I see is Selim at 32.72, Beans at 32.79, but keep in mind, that's over 2 series for Scrap. Some of these guys on this list only played 1 series this weekend.
He's been having his way. It's no surprise that he finds his way onto our Team of the Week yet again. He's been on it before.
I'm so excited to announce the next. Go ahead.
I'm sure that we'll be seeing him again in the near future. The kid's been unbelievable. Whether you like him, whether you hate him or you love him, the guy's been fucking unreal.
It's him next.
It's him next?
I think so.
Okay, go ahead, Zin.
Wait, you want me to do it? I introduced Scrap, but I will introduce my boy. I feel like I have to.
Okay, yeah.
He was my duo on Breach. I won my first ever LAN championship with him back on Rise Nation. TJ Haley with his first appearance on the breakdown team, and he loves cookies, dude.
Look at him.
That kid can fucking eat.
Tej has been one of those players that's been kind of scrutinized throughout this year. He's been up, he's been down, but he's been playing very well for Vegas, and it's in a time where they need him. Obviously, they don't get the results that they wanted. They didn't get the 2-0 this weekend, but to push Optic to a round 11 and to then win their next match in a Game 5 fashion against NY, he's a big part of that, and he's been playing a lot better. So we got to give him some props where they are due. He's one of the best search players in the league,
and that's arguably the reason why he's on this list is just his prowess in search, his clutch ability. You saw there he clutches a huge 1v2 in a 3-3 round to go take the 4-3 lead last map against New York. So he's done dividends for this Vegas squad, and
people have been they've been on him a little bit. He's got a 1.06 overall, a 1.7 versus New York, 1.2 in the stage,
and he's feeling like Tej.
The guy's been under fire, but we got to give him his props where they're due. He's been helping Vegas a lot, and we hope to see him continue this because Vegas needs him. Their schedule remains hard throughout. I think they play FaZe in their next match. They're going to need Tej to come out and keep playing well for them to be able to advance into champs.
Yeah, he's been gunning.
Correct. I think I have the wrong order. Next up, I think I get the next two.
Go ahead.
Just for obvious reasons. We spoiled both of these on the watch party if you guys were watching with us.
They were watching.
The next up on the list, it's no surprise. It's Big Brucey. Big Brandon. He's been unbelievable lately. Maybe starting to make, a case for MVP at the end of this year. Today, I think he throws up 1.67 against FaZe.
Yeah, that's not an easy team to slay against.
Just absolute slammage. The kid, even in his post game interview, he just looks so locked. He looks like he's hitting a new level, and with the team around him, it looks like he's just playing some of his best COD right now.
I'm not sure how much we can say about him. The kid can snipe. The kid can pop a 3 when he walks into a hill. He's just that. He's one of the best backlines you can ask for. He can bail you out of a game. He can pop a 3-piece.
Correct.
I think he's the most talented sniper in the game. We saw that versus BZ earlier, a huge 1v1. He literally had 12 seconds, and he only had one shot in the chamber.
We'll be taking a look at that later as well. That was
he gets
an insane
it done.
Clutch.
So
great intuition.
Brandon lights out all stage long.
Yeah.
All stage long.
Well, he had a
all year long.
He had a 1.19 before coming into today, but after today, dropping a 1.67, I'm sure that he's up there now.
He's got to be up there.
He's got to have like a 1.35, 1.4 at least. He's been unbelievable, and that's why he's on our team of the week. And he went 34-21, map 1 today versus FaZe.
It's a good map.
So he's been doing well. Big Brucey, we love him. Greenwall loves him, and he deserves to be on this list. You want me to get the last one as well? Or would
Go ahead, man. It's all you.
All right. It only makes sense. Another Optic member coming on to our team of the week. It's none other than Kyler, a.k.a. Garland. The kid has been locked. He loves to shoot his bots.
The nuke.
Today, yes, Hook the nuke. Today against FaZe, he comes in, drops a 1.24. And just, I swear, ever since really stage 3, he's been kind of unbelievable. Lights out for Optic. And it's no surprise that he finds himself on our team of the week.
Yeah, and I talked about it on the watch party. It's like this kid has always been known for his raw gun skill and just flying around the map in AW and shitting on people, running around, has one of the best shots in the game. But I feel like we're seeing a new and improved Kyler. It's like he added that discipline to his locker where he knows when to turn it on and he knows when to slow down. And I feel like compared to the player we used to see, he was very up in your face, sometimes too aggressive. And now it feels like he's just playing picture-perfect COD.
That was really the tale of both of the SMGs on their team. Shotzi and Kyler, both everyone was getting upset because they'd overpush or they'd throw their lives or, they try to get too mixy at times. But right now they're playing perfect Call of Duty. And everyone's always said that those two make each other a lot better. And it's showing right now. Kyler been playing unbelievable. Huge match today. Congrats
Look at that
to
smile.
him making that team of the week. And he's so about his business. He's humble. Honestly, one of the nicest kids in the CDL. So,
and they're calling him the Atlanta FaZe boogeyman.
He really is.
He might be.
I don't think people realize every time he plays FaZe, I swear he always turns up. Yeah. Even last year when he was on LAG, they let him walk for free.
Sure.
Goodness gracious, the kid's unbelievable against the Tiny Tears, and he finds himself in our team of the week. But that is our team of the week.
Look at him,
Split
dude.
5, week
Bruce,
1.
Tej. Bruce and Tej got a little duo ship there. I remember one time in a hotel room after an event, it was me, Tej, Dashy, and Blast.
Cookies involved?
Dude. I think Bruce ate like 4 Krispy Kreme donuts. TJ was hands deep in a peanut M&M bag. It was filthy activity.
Yeah.
And they were loving it.
They love it. They all love it.
We have a surprise MVP?
A surprise MVP? The hell are we talking about?
It's the fire extinguisher. It's the LAG fire extinguisher.
Yeah, we'll also be taking a look at that earlier. A lot of people in the watch party, they didn't understand our reference whenever we were looking at some of the the memes that were coming out from it. So we will take a look at that a little bit later. But
He looks good.
MVP of the day, the fire extinguisher in kitchen on hotel.
Well, congrats to our breakdown team of the week, man. You guys went above and beyond. Once again, so many players that could have made it, but these guys were lights out, whether it be
Honorable
Serge,
mentions, we have a few. Clayster, obviously, birthday
Eubanks,
boy himself.
Clay was frying.
Clay has had a great weekend. Envoy, we were thinking about throwing Envoy on. He obviously, they start 0-2, so...
I also want to shout out Nasty, too, of London. I know London right now, bottom of the barrel, definitely the worst team in the league. Nasty was doing his thing. Like, he's their diamond in the rough right now, where I feel like no matter what, no matter how poor they're playing, Nasty's still putting up numbers.
He's been consistent.
Yeah, I wanted
the EU Scump.
I wanted to highlight. He's better. I wanted to highlight Nasty.
You're fucked up.
And that's gonna do it for the breakdown team of the week, dude. Put that fist down before I knock those fucking glasses off your head.
Sorry.
In game.
Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have I'm very excited for this guest.
Yeah.
Obviously, we saw a lot of drama take place yesterday. I've never personally met him, but we've got Ben Beans coming on for
Big old Benjamin.
The 1v2. Obviously, yesterday.
There he is. Look at him.
Ben, it's nice to finally meet you. I've never actually
likewise.
personally talked to you. I don't remember if you shot my body last year at the Pro-Am.
No. That wasn't me. That was the teammate. We roasted him for it. It is what it is.
That was what was his name? Furious Claus?
Furious Klaus. Yeah, Klaus.
Fucking Santa Claus.
Ben, I know you very well, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's been a interesting weekend to say the least.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You guys been going Yard House or what? I feel like I was the glue. I feel like I was Elmer for Boston Breach. I feel like I was the facilitator. I was always organizing the dinners, and I feel like without me, you guys might be lost.
There's been some Italian shouts in the chat, but people just aren't getting up for it. Honestly, there's no activity anymore. It's really poor.
But all right, Beans. Obviously, a ton of drama took place yesterday. Even Zinni kind of got looped into it.
Yeah, what the fuck's going on there?
How did those pre-talks? Obviously, I'm sure that you and the Rocker guys had conversations before everything happened. You guys didn't or agreed to use sound EQ. How did that affect the team going into the match? Was there like an extra fire that was lit under you guys? Because obviously it was a little bit heated.
It was a really weird situation. So we weren't like asked like before the match at all. Like the last time we were asked, apparently I spoke to Ben. He said that he spoke to us at Major 4 apparently in person. I don't remember, but he might have. I don't know. And apparently we said we're going to be using EQ at Major 4. And we weren't asked like a week before or anything if we're using it. The only time we were asked was an hour before the match. Ben come backstage and said, "Are we using EQ?" And I said to him, "You know, I'm not a big fan of EQ in the first place because I'm deaf. I hate it." But we said, "Yeah, we're using it." And he wasn't happy at all. He stormed off backstage. He was calling us all weirdos. But and I feel like this is what it is. I mean, if they'd asked us like a week before, where we could have a week of practice without it on, I think we genuinely would have turned it off. But I mean, it is what it is. In the past, can't change it now. It's loads of controversy, all that stuff.
Absolutely, the COD community loves it.
And let's just say, I agree with you. If you were asked a week prior, that's one thing. To get asked 1 hour before, if that's the first time it was talked about, the problem is I think sound EQ is just so hated by the community that no matter what. No matter how much logic was behind your decision, the community is going to hate on it just because, sound EQ, it's cheap, you could have not used it. People just don't like it, so by default, they're going to hate on you if you have the option to not use it. But I think that logic makes total sense. Yeah. It's like practice how you're going to play, and if you guys knew ahead of time, sure.
I mean, I think it's rough for them as well, because I saw on, I think Rocco tweeted a video of their coach saying that they've been practicing the last like week or 2 weeks or whatever without it on. So it's kind of shit for them that they had to like put it on the day of playing us. So like at first I was like, I just couldn't understand because like I didn't realize they'd not been practicing with it. So like if they have to have it on, who cares? Like it's still on the same playing field. But they've been practicing with it off, so it kind of makes sense. Like it is rough for them, but I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so I mean, obviously, don't worry. We're not done talking about the drama, but I want to ask you about your come up. Obviously, or let's rewind a bit. When did you first hear that you were going to be taking my spot? Was it before I actually retired? Like, because obviously me and the coaches, there were conversations there behind like, I'm probably stepping away. It wasn't a 100%, but like, when did you know that it was a good possibility that you were coming in, and how did you feel? What did that look like for you? And just talk me through it.
So I knew like before Major 2, I think it was. I knew that like you'd been speaking about it. So I knew like it could be coming, but it wasn't 100% sure. Like obviously you weren't. I don't think you were 100% sure either that it was going to happen. So I was still, it's not getting my hopes up or anything like that, which sounds rough because it's your retirement, but also it is, kind
of
of
course. Yeah, of course.
for me as well. So I mean, it is what it is. I mean, yeah, I mean, I heard during just before the event, I think, and so yeah, I mean, I was happy, sad as well because you're a nice guy sometimes. So
Sometimes go fuck yourself.
You tried to sneak that one under there. That's crazy.
Yeah.
No, I remember in the room like the day I retired. Like we were all sitting there and he was in there. It was the full team. It was all the staff. And I was like, I'm gonna go retire. And I looked at him and he's like, oh fuck, I don't know how to feel, man. He's like, I was
like, because it's rough. Like I'm not gonna be like. Like I'm sad, but like also like I'm kind of gassed at the same time.
Yeah, you get your shot. But off that, tell us about you more and like your come up. I saw a tweet. We'll talk about the peer stuff, but you said you were stuck overseas for a while and you were dominating challengers last year. I believe you were on the Ultra Academy team, if I'm not mistaken. You were on one of the Ultra Academy teams. Talk us through your come up, how long you've been playing, and just talk us through it.
So I've been playing like competitively since like. Probably like AW, I think, but like I went to like a BO2 LAN in Dubai. So I used to live in Dubai for like 5-6 years when I was like 12 onwards.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's a weird upbringing, especially when it comes to like COD, because like the scene over there was like really small. Had probably like 10 teams or something. Like it was a really small scene. But yeah, I mean, played COD competitively over there the whole time I was there, pretty much. Went to like some locals, they had some events and stuff. Yeah, and then I came back to the UK when I was 17, but didn't actually start playing like properly in like the challenges stuff till start of MW. So yeah, I started from there.
It's a crazy upbringing story.
Yeah, it's weird.
But I just want to ask. So personally, I love the hype that you bring to your team. Does your team tell you to do that at all? Obviously, you get a 2-piece and you're screaming shit on.
Which I fucking love, by the way.
I love it.
Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. The only thing that you need to care about is your internal dialogue with your team and your staff. Yeah. That's the only fucking thing. Let the community hate you, which, first and foremost, knowing you personally, you're probably one of the nicest guys I know. And that's why...
You do seem it as well. I mean, just from like outside looking in, you do seem like a really good kid.
Like genuinely, like, I'm not going to glaze you too much here, but I think you're a good dude, and just... If you're getting loud versus popular teams and all that, people are going to have their opinion. And
yeah.
But
see it with other people.
I'm all for that. I mean, for example, if you get a 2-piece car bomb or a 2-piece trophy kill, your only goal is to hype up your teammates and just bring that energy to them. So
yeah. But to finish my question, does your team like tell you to feed into that, or is it kind of just how your personality is and how you've always played the game?
I don't think they're like. They never really tell me like, oh, make sure you're getting hyped there, like, make sure you're getting loud and stuff, because I think they already know, like, no matter what, I'm pretty much gonna do it, because it's just like it's nothing I control. It's not like something I'm like switch on.
Yeah,
it is what it is. It's just how I play. It's the hype, stuff like that. And so when situations occur where I'm getting loud, I mean, there's rarely ever been times where like it'll affect the comms or something. I think there might have been like one kill online against Optic or something. I think I can't remember who I killed. I killed someone on like Hotel, and I roared dead. And they said like the boy said to me after the match, I was like, "Why are you roaring dead? There, you got like one kill." But like, but for the most part, it doesn't really affect comms. I think if anything, it's just a positive. It gets like people hyped, gets like the energy going, momentum,
wakes everyone up.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a bit different, obviously, when it comes to like challengers, because they can hear you. So it's a little bit of like a mental battle as well. The pros not so much. So it's more for your team.
Hold on. Yeah. Clay heard you. When you filled in for Joe at the Major, my first ever experience with Beans is when Wake got sick at Major 1.
Yeah.
And we win a map. We win first map in like dominant fashion. Beans comes in. It's me and Beans together. I don't think you're a slow AR, but nonetheless, I think you were running main for your team or whatever. And we beat Clay in Legion first map, and he's getting up screaming at Clay, one of the most storied veterans ever. You're fucking shite, Clay. And I'm like, holy shit, all right. Like, this kid.
He's here to party.
Yeah, this kid's going to bring it. So I love it.
I love it too. Please
love it.
don't stop doing it. I think it's fantastic. I used to say I'd just be lying and shit. I'd get a 2-piece, say I'm turning on somebody.
Yeah.
You gotta get the juices flowing somehow, and having someone on the team that can be a catalyst for that, like yourself, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. I have 2 more for you. I'm going to end things off. Don't worry. We're talking about some more drama, but the inner workings of the team. Obviously, you take my spot and things are sort of normal. Next thing you know, Kremp's playing for Reese, and now Nero's out and Reese is back in. I guess just talk us through some of those talks, what you guys are looking forward to bringing to the next major and the rest of the split, and just talk us through the changes.
So yeah, obviously I came in for you. I don't think the team dynamic changed that much. I mean, we weren't like really similar players, but like I don't think it really changed that much. What was going on? Then obviously I think the Reese change initially was it wasn't like a tilt change or anything. It was just like we kept losing to like the Vegases, the Floridas, who we thought like we should be beating every time, because like we have really close games or beat like good teams like Thieves online and stuff like that, and then we'd lose like a Florida, we'd lose to Vegas, we lose like whoever who we thought we should be beating most of the time. So like it was more like if we keep like this mentality or this same team, we like could just keep falling behind because you keep losing. So I had to make the change, and obviously it like not backtracked on the change, but brought Reese back in because is like he's not like a massively vocal guy, but like he does bring it like quite a bit. Like his comms are really good, and he like slows the game down sometimes, even though he's a maniac and running around like a headless chicken. But he does slow the game down and make it easier for us a lot of the time. And it was also like was a really really good player, but I think Reese just fits this team better. I think Reese and Kyle like work together better than Dylan Kyle did. So.
Yeah,
Fair.
and that's just how it is sometimes. I mean, no matter how good a player is, sometimes it's just not meshing, and got to make a change. So I respect it. But I do want to keep this mostly about you. But we obviously do have a lot of questions about obviously the Minnesota event, and I just want to ask you if you even know, because obviously you came on kind of mid-year. Do the players agree to go to that event, or is it the org's decision at the start of the year? If you could provide some insight.
I'm pretty sure just the org's decision. So they have to go. Like if the org wants the players to go, you go. Obviously, it's in like before you go, like you're dreading it, and like the travel day for like one match is like just not fun.
Yeah.
But, like when you actually get there, like I said to the guys like Dens and stuff and the coaches, like the travel day and just one day and all that stuff is just awful for like that one match. But when you're actually there backstage, and the home crowd was actually insane. It was actually really cool. Other than the "fuck you beans" chants, they're
were
cool.
they screaming that?
Yeah, they fucking. Honestly, I just took my villain arc now. I guess I don't know. Everyone's just screaming it.
I bitched about that.
What?
When Dens walked in and like week 1 was like, yeah, we're flying to Minnesota in May. I said, why the fuck would you agree to that?
Yeah.
I said,
But,
who the fuck wants to go there?
It was really good.
I mean, you're feeling like you're in like the NBA or the NFL. You're flying there, one match. It could be 30 minutes, bada bing, bada boom. Thankfully, you guys go in and you handle business and win. But
oh yeah, if we'd lost, wow. I mean,
that'd be miserable.
That would have been a rough one.
Rough travel day, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to finish this off with you. Talk about the gunless bullshit. Were you surprised to go on Twitter and see him saying, is there anything like behind that? Like, did you and Pierce have like a weird challengers rivalry, or did he just decide to dig at you? And then I got dragged into it.
Yeah, a little bit, I guess, yeah. I don't think I've ever spoken to him before. I don't think I've ever even played him in challengers before. I don't know, man. It was just, it was probably one of them days, like how Twitter was. It was, my noties were just full of just absolute, just disgustingness on my noties, and then I'm seeing this, so I thought, why not give it some more entertainment? We were sat at dinner after the win. I thought I'll give it some more entertainment. Fuck it, why not? And yeah, it just transpired a little bit. And it is what it is. I mean, it's COD. Everyone's talking shit all the time. Like at the end of the day, obviously Gunless, great player, insane accolades, got the ring, MVP, whatever. But I mean, I'm just gonna defend myself at the end of the day. I think He's got his opinion about how my comms are or whatever, and how I need to improve in what areas. But I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not playing with him, so I don't really care what he says.
Fair.
If Joe or Kyle want to say it, sure, or the coaches, that's fine. I'll tone it down. I'll do whatever I need to do. But until that happens, I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and it is what it is.
Absolutely.
Fair.
And I think that you should, because you've been absolutely phenomenal. The Boston team, I feel like you guys are right there a lot of the time and able to beat the top teams and the top talent in the league, because you guys are a talented squad yourself. Beans, I want to thank you so much for joining us today, giving us an insight into your career, your upbringing, some of the drama. I know the community had a lot of questions, and you got to come on here and share your piece, which I think is good, because obviously people, when they see this stuff, they look at it and they overanalyze it, and really at the end of the day, it's not as serious as people make it out to be. But thank you so much for joining us, and
Miss you guys, man.
good luck to you, you and the boys for stage 5 and forward.
Go get some Jeff's Pizza, all right? Got some wings down you.
Fuck you. Appreciate it, guys.
No, it's not. Go fuck you, man. I mean,
Pleasure to meet you as well.
Peace, brother.
Appreciate you guys.
Yep, you as well.
Great dude, man.
Yeah, great dude. Beans, phenomenal player as well. We love his play style. We love the energy that he brings. And Boston, obviously, a soft spot for Zen a little bit. So Beans, kind of filling big shoes. He's filling some big shoes.
Yeah, it's big ass.
Some huge shoes.
Yeah.
But that is the 1v2. We are going to be hopping into our next segment where we break down some key plays and key moments throughout the weekend that we thought we should talk about. It is the deep dive.
This is like, I feel like this is like low key your favorite.
I love talking analytical about COD. I mean, I love breaking it down, trying to give you guys a little more insight on why certain things are happening on the map, who's making good plays, spawns that are weird and maybe shouldn't be happening. I absolutely love breaking it down for you guys. So
Absolutely.
I know some people love this segment, some people not so much, but we can't please everybody. So, we're gonna start off here. Hold on. We've got an optic play very first. Riley, bring it to me, baby. I can turn volume all the way up?
Perfect.
Okay, cool. All right. The first one that we're going to be watching is the Vegas P1 to P2 at the end of this Embassy hardpoint. Embassy is a map that Optic's been struggling on. Break this down a little for me, Zen.
Yeah. What are we watching here?
P1 to P2, Zen.
Yeah, well, it's a lot easier for you to see, to be fair, and I'm sitting here.
Well, right here,
Nonetheless,
obviously the rotation's coming in, end game, and we're watching the P2 rotation. Kyler's half wall. This is where Clay calls in that cruise missile.
Yeah. Yep.
And I just want to break down how this goes down, because right here, it looks like Optic wins this rotation. There's 10 seconds left on P1. You have number 4 pushing over to Milk on the bottom side of the map, and you have number 2 pushing out the backside. So this is a perfect setup for Optic here to close this game out.
Yeah, they create the line. Brandon pushes out here. He's trying to just make sure no one can pinch gas.
That's a huge kill from Donnie. And
Correct.
then obviously we have the cruise missile that rains down, and we don't see two pieces with it very often. You can kind of see it the last second. Kyler, I think it looks like he's throwing that trophy down, and it just doesn't pop in time. Vegas gets in.
Yeah, I mean, that 2-piece there opens up the map. Optic all spawn out like P1, tennis side of the map, and now they're trying to create a pinch, right? So they kill Donnie, they kill him gas, that's huge. Now they're going to try to break from front as well as side PD.
That's a huge 2-piece.
Standy finds a big 2, Donnie finds 1, and now Optic are just
kind of a lineup scenario.
Forced to pray.
And then obviously they push out Milk as well. They have everything blocked. Now they're just funneling them through mid. And ultimately, it ends up losing Optic the map in the end. So well played by Vegas. Again, you don't really see two pieces like that very much. We'll skip forward a little bit here. And they close it out on the P3 towards the end. But I just want to talk about a little P2.
The 2-piece streak's unlucky.
The 2-piece streak really is what sealed the deal.
Because I think they had a trophy there, if I'm not mistaken.
And you see Clayster, he's getting hype in the top left corner. He knows that he just had a huge play.
I mean, a map-winning play, honestly.
Yeah.
And especially to take map 1 against such a strong hardpoint team in Optic, it's like you're going into search. Vegas is feeling on top of the world. Obviously, we know that ends. Optic win that 1-6-5 last map in a insane fashion. And are we breaking that down too, or are we showing all the round 11s?
We do have all the round 11s. For some reason, my tabs all switch spots on me, so we're kind of a little bit out of order. But this one right here, we have Minnesota versus London. I was calling this out while we were watching it. Right here, London has an opportunity to get into P2. Sorry. London has an opportunity here to get into P2.
Is this when they're in quicksand?
This is when they're in fucking quicksand, and we were screaming the whole time, go! You guys have the timing. go. They kill this guy in the back. 6 has P1 cut. It's literally a 3v1 on hill right here.
Yeah.
Afro has his cross, but they team nade.
Yeah, Scraps team nades. They take forever. All they have is one guy front, and next thing you know, they just waste too much time. Rocker can get right back in the play.
Look at them. They can still get in here and challenge this guy in hill, and they just don't go. And it ends up biting them in the ass. And this was really the key turning point in this map, in series, honestly. London needs to come out here and win this first map, or else they're in a bad position already because they've been playing bad.
It's the bad news bears.
And that one just kind of, it stuck out to me. You know, they had an opportunity to get a break and get themselves a tie game, and they just don't go. So I thought that was a pretty interesting clip there.
Yeah.
Next up, sorry again.
Let's get moving next time, London. Sometimes you got to get on that horse.
Yeah, keep, just, what, you want it? Yeah, sorry, we're a little bit out of order, so I'm going to keep apologizing probably because that's just how I am. But next up, we've got the round 9. I just want to highlight Shotzi's play here because Shotzi makes an absolute god play. They get the A bomb down here, and they get blooded, so it's a 3v4 retake with 25 seconds. Look at Shotzi number 2 on your minimap.
Yeah, Ant pushes couches. He's going to hold all mid. Look at number 5. So Ant gets good time in there. He makes sure he plays aggressive because number 5 actually kind of read it, Clay, and he wraps the map to try to pick up mid.
Just too late.
Too late. I mean, Shotzi's just too quick. Next thing you know, Dan finds the last. And a 4v3 like that, some teams would kind of freeze up and just like wait for Vegas to come to them and just like pre-aim and they got to hop the bomb.
Yep.
Ant does the opposite. He's like, you know what? I'm going to hit this gap, make a play, and he gets it done.
Yeah, we're going to fast forward just a little bit. We try to break down all the round 11s for you guys.
This is insane.
This round 11 was actually crazy because Optic, the players said that they thought that they killed Bomb, and we'll show you where they thought they killed Bomb, and it ends up kind of helping them that there's a miscomm in the end. But here, Vegas set up with a pretty standard default, taking Diner side away from them. Number 5, though, I wanted to point this out. Clayster gets pretty unlucky there. He had the read on Dan, and he just auto-mantles on that back block, and that's a huge blood from Dan. Blood in round 11 is huge.
Huge, correct. And, we know what ends up happening. It's going to come down to a 2v2 at some point, so now we're just waiting for it to become a 2v2.
Yeah, you want me to skip forward a little bit?
Yeah, skip forward a bit, and then obviously...
So right here, this was the kill.
Scenario.
So Standy gets one mid. This was the kill right here where they think Bomb is down. Kyler's going to kill Standy, double arches, right here. So right here, they're calling Bomb down. They think they just killed Bomb, and it makes Brandon kind of like freeze back kitchen. And it ends up helping them out in the end because fast forward a little bit, they try to grab the bomb, wrap it, and they had an A plant for free here.
Yeah,
but they don't realize that.
I mean, to be fair, at this point, you're flipping a coin. You have no information. You have to assume that Optic's maybe going to fight A or they're in bed somewhere. Like, you just have no information.
But Optic thinks that they have bomb down double arches. They stay here back kitchen, which honestly they probably wouldn't have done if they didn't think they had bomb down.
If Vegas plants A there, it's just a 2v2. It's
2v2.
You don't know what's going to happen.
And A is a pretty easy one to hold in post plant, so maybe a little bit fortunate there with a miscomm for Optic, but they end up getting it done in the round 11. Right here, let me check my notes really quick. We've got LAG versus FaZe, and it's a P3 here. So let's play the clip. I'm sure we'll fucking realize it whenever we start watching it. Oh, yeah, right here. We talk about it. We talk about how players die at the start of these P3s.
Yep, and then they spawn out, and the next thing you know, they get numbered.
So this is what we're talking about. Who dies right there? Number 2, Exceed. Dies in their art a little too early. FaZe, they block the P5 spawn, which forces them out back stone, which is where Exceed spawns. And now it's a foot race here. Now FaZe knows they have a 4v3. Obviously, number 7 stays in time, so it's a 3v3. But FaZe just bullies them out here. And this literally ends up being the dagger because this is LAG's opportunity back into this game.
And to be fair, 2 things need to happen. Sure, they kill Exceed and spawn him out. It's not the worst case scenario for LAG because if LAG just stalls FaZe for a little bit longer, Exceed's on a natural pinch. I mean, he's sprinting up, he's throwing tacks, he's behind them. The problem is Alec gets pieced without finding one.
Yeah.
So then now it's a 4v2. And
you're both spawning out.
LAG just finds 0 kills. So not only does Exceed fuck up and die a little too early,
and then they flip this.
They don't find any kills.
All this time that LAG is supposed to be getting from this P3, now FaZe is just soaking and they're extending this lead. And from this point on, I don't think LAG gets more than like 30 points. Like
they just run away with it.
This was the turning point in the game, and we got to talk about it. Players dying on the P2 to P3, very bad, very bad. All right, next up. This was I think the weird spawn in the New York versus Vegas match. We talked about a weird spawn taking place from the P2 to P3. So right here, where do you think they should be spawning right here?
Well, I think look, pause right now. Number one, that's a spot that's technically blocking all the back spawns. Like that
he should be blocking, right?
That is a calculated spot where if you're in that back corner, you block the spawn.
Is 3 pushed? Does 3 block right here? Is that why they get that spawn? Is Caesar blocking?
Is it because the new hill's not popped yet?
It just popped. It literally just popped.
When he spawned? Are you sure?
I think
he spawned in at like 000.
Oh, he might have spawned actually while the old hill was up. Hold on. 2, 1, 0. I guess the new hill is white. Maybe that's what it is.
Dude, yes, because the new hill...
It's white. It's like if he's in it, he doesn't spawn there.
Dude, it's like the millisecond that the hill's white that he spawns.
Yeah.
That's insane time.
But if the hill pops right there and New York is registered in it, number 8 probably spawns out. Yeah. He probably spawns in the back, but right there,
that seems a bit unlucky.
It's just a crazy spawn. It's one of those millisecond spawns that happen in Call of Duty, and right here, obviously, Tej gets a good timing on Kismet in the back, and now they have a natural pinch on the map, and I don't know if they even end up breaking it, but I just wanted to point it out.
That's unlucky.
Just a weird spawn. We always try to point out the weird spawns and give you guys some information on why they spawned out. I think that was because the hill was white, to be honest. Next up, we've got round
11.
Another round 11, Boston versus the Rocker. Huge match as well for the Rocker. I mean, this is map number 2, so it's not a game 5, but...
Well, huge match for Boston as well, because Boston, I mean, them and Rocker are sort of neck and neck. Obviously, Vegas and Rocker are like the talk of the town. They're in that race to secure champs. Boston is only now 10 points ahead of Rocker. I believe if Rocker beat them, they were tied in points.
Correct.
So this was huge for Boston as well, because you want to obviously extend that lead as much as possible and make sure nothing gets sketchy.
But right here, I just wanted to talk about this. Minnesota, they basically gamble right here that nobody's in B, and they just get a free B plant, and we've seen the 4v4 retake on B bomb.
Which is ballsy.
It's just, it's ballsy to go in there.
Because usually there's a sub on top of a fucking counter, or in the closet corner, or laying down behind a counter. Like, usually there's some type of presence at B.
He's either snaking, he's usually getting a freebie, and sometimes 2, which can just straight up lose you around 11. Right here, I don't exactly remember what happens. I think Minnesota still ends up holding this. It's a 2v2 scenario. Yep, Cammy comes in, cleans up the round. Honestly, a gamble that pays off for Minnesota to just say, let's go B. Maybe they had the drop on Boston that they were giving up B bomb. I don't know exactly how that play call goes down, but they take B for free, and it ends up winning them around 11.
Correct.
Which was huge because they were about to go down 2-0 in that series.
Yeah, once again, just a big gamble. I mean, that is... Very rarely does a team like completely abandon B and not have any type of kitchen presence. So.
Yep, right here, weird. Boston Breach versus Minnesota again, same match. I just wanted to point out this masterclass by Boston and their offense. You see right here, the play's developing, no ticks on B right now, but this is one of the cleanest B takes you're ever going to see.
Watch Reese, number 4.
Kremp dies, they get 2 kills right here. Wake finds 1, but Wake finds 2. That's everything. Wake kills the guy on their side, and then Reese, I love this play so much. The pinch under AC, because usually their AR is top AC, back van, but he ends up getting 2, spawns him deep.
Rewind. That is like the most known gap on this map, is that tools to AC route, or like at least that portion of the map. You can't really have an angle on it. Like it only really works if you have full-on map control and someone's dedicated to that spot of the map. As soon as 2 people die, you can't really dedicate a resource to like... The only thing that they could have done is someone hit like the far left.
A resource.
A Reese source. Reese source.
Correct.
Reese Vivid. Vivid's name Reese, resource.
But I just wanted to point that out. That's about as picture perfect as you're going to see a team take B, especially on a silo. It's been a defensive-sided map, at least lately. And Boston comes out, they clutch up, they win that round. I just wanted to point out what a perfect take really looks like, because that was as good as it gets.
Yep.
All right, next
What else do you got for me, kid? What else you got in that locker?
Trust me, I still got some shit. How do you think I've been doing with the deep dive?
I'm loving it, man. Are you guys loving it? And let us know as well. I'm actually about to bring you guys up briefly. Do you guys like the deep dive longer? Do you like it shorter?
I think we
do you like seeing all these?
I think we keep it kind of short, honestly. I think this deep dive is a lot better than what
They're loving it. What's up? Yo, guys, how we feeling? They're loving it. We appreciate you guys tuning in live.
Fuck yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. I mean, I just like to give some insight. Obviously, some people watch Call of Duty for the drama. Some people watch Call of Duty because they have a specific favorite player and they have a specific favorite team. But I like to try to spread knowledge as much as I can to obviously make you guys better players or just understand more of what you're watching, honestly. Yep. Right here, another P2 to P3. We obviously pointed this out a little bit later, but this one actually ends up losing Ultra the game. Obviously, Thieves come out on top in this map, and same situation, but Toronto actually plays this pretty well. They clear the guys their side. They're spawning them back stone.
I mean, this should be a Toronto map win right here.
Correct. But Sam LaRue has something to fucking say about that.
Yep.
Sam comes in like a wrecking ball. I'm not talking Miley. And comes in and basically breaks this shit wide open. Kenny with the blood, I can't even stress how big that kill is.
And he had a terrible map, but it doesn't matter
terrible
because he
map.
makes a big kill there, but
Sam obviously
it's all octane.
Sam obviously cleans him up. He ends up getting the 2-piece, the 3-piece. Now there's the last guy in Hill. They know they're spawning him out front. They only need 2 seconds. Sam goes big. Kenny opens it up.
Look at Kenny's face after that. He goes 18 and 42 for the map win.
But that was a big kill.
Fuck,
that was a huge kill to get that
Correct.
intro kill and stay alive and force their setup to shift. That's a big-time kill out of Kenny. Obviously had a rough map there, but they end up getting it done anyway, and shouts out to Kenny. Right here, I wanted to talk about the late pinch again. We saw Donnie do this. Now we're going to watch Assault do this on Hotel. You see LAG.
This is OP.
You see LAG getting B-bomb control. So what are the players on Florida going to do? They're going to wrap through their side base, or they're going to go through mid, double arches, and try re-pinching. Assault knows that there's not going to be anybody on this side, goes around, gets a free 2-piece in the back. At this point, the round's over, weakens up Fellow. It's just picture-perfect search and destroy.
And it's just a consistent play because there's no real counter to it because there's no way to actually read if someone's going to pinch plat. If the opponents are in B, you're assuming that bomb's going down. They're playing a tight setup. They're playing corners. Like, they're watching the doorways. So it's a free gap every time. So
I don't remember. Does this go to round 11 or does it end?
No, this is the fire
This is the
extinguisher.
fire extinguisher. I wanted to point this out because some people didn't really get what the joke was. So right here, Joe Deceives, obviously in a 1v3. His teammate drops. He comes through top bed. But look at the time on the clock. He's in a 1v3, technically more like a 1v2, with 30 seconds left, and he has to retake B. This is a very, very hard clutch unless Florida just hands
I thought it was impossible, and you're going to see what happens. A little bit unfortunate here for Florida. They actually end up taking the series, so
right here was the
no
meme.
harm done. But
Throws a stun, gets him stunned, throws the nade, how you doing, hits him in the mouth. Boom, Fellow gets killed by. So let's actually go back and let's 0.25 this because it's kind of insane. So 0.2.
I'm hitting.
Opens the door. Obviously, give it a second. Brack gonna throw his stun.
He hit me with a stun,
I think it's funny, but look at the clock. 19 seconds left. This should be unclutchable.
and he gets stunned, so they know exactly where he is.
He gets stunned. 17 seconds left.
He's like a fucking rat in a hole. I mean, he's just crawling through looking for cheese.
Yeah, Brack hits him in the mouth with the nade here in a second, literally in the face. Boom.
They hit me with.
It blows up it does team damage to Fellow, and then the fire extinguisher blows him up. And then obviously
And then Brack just jumps for dear life.
Obviously, back to one-time speed. Brack doesn't know what the fuck's going on at that point. His teammate just got blown up by a fire extinguisher. He just chows because he's probably like,
What's going on?
he probably had no idea what the hell was going on. So he just chows. Crazy play. We don't see that a lot. Honestly, that's just unfortunate on the side of Florida because they should have went to a round 11 there at the very least. Right here, we have another P3. I want to just highlight the play that Dan makes here. It's Optic versus FaZe a little bit earlier. Dan gets through, just lays down, puts down his controller, and wins him this hill.
Yep.
Watch this. Boom. Kills are going down. P5. Where's 4 spawn? On Dan. 3's blocking P5. No other spawns are available. They're going to spawn bottom art or P2 right here. And it just allows Optic to break. They're so good at this fucking map. And that's one of those plays where some players will try to overcompensate.
They get greedy.
Jump out and try to get a crazy 2-piece. Dan just puts his controller down and allows his teammates to spawn on him. And ends up working out. Breaks P3 for him. So shouts out Dan. Cerebral play. Not the flashiest, but a smart play right there out of him. I think we have one more clip or a couple more clips. I think we have the clutch with Brandon. And then I think we have one more after that.
Sure, we can break it down.
Did you want
I mean,
to
we're
say
going to see it later, but break it down.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to break it down because honestly, there was only one thing for it to happen here. Riley, switch on over. Yep. Okay, we're going to go back.
1v1.
So we're going to go back. Abizi's in a 1v2 here. He has 13 seconds to plant the bomb. Dan dies here, and I clenched.
I mean, to be fair, with Brandon with the snipe here, and Abizi knows it, he's planting the bomb, he has close range, he can run kitchen, run top gas. I mean, he's in the better spot here than Brandon. And I said it on the watch party, Brandon has one shot because all Abizi's playing for is information. He wants to know if he's on the bomb, he wants to know where he is. So Brandon has one attempt.
Yeah.
And he has no dead silence. So Abizi's listening to him. Brandon makes the only play he can make. He sits in the bomb, makes no sound cues, and pre-aims, and You can call it luck, but I mean, there's very few places Abeezy is going to come from. It's either that doorway, back alley, or above him. It's not like he's going to wrap mid.
It's a 1 of 3 guess.
Yeah.
And he guesses right and hits the shot. It was a veteran play. Obviously, he doesn't have dead silence. He knows he really can't do shit. So he waits out that clock and he catches Abeezy. Abeezy, that's not a bad play out of Abe. Abe jumps across
There's
too.
nothing he can do.
He jumps across, like trying to get info on the bomb. He doesn't even like challenge. He just goes to check to see if he's even on it. Maybe a shoulder there would be different, but he also knows that he has a sniper. So he doesn't really want to shoulder that and risk dying. What did this end? Round 11, right?
Correct.
This goes round 11. We're going to watch
And
it.
this is an insane round 11.
Correct. So right here, round 11. I love this fucking play call, by the way. I don't know who calls it for the optic side, but they know Abeezy and Simp. They've been pushing P2 on their defenses pretty much every round. They've been trying to hit through. So what do? They just bang out of the bathroom doors.
Go.
And they
Kyler
catch him.
finds blood.
And they catch him. They catch Abeezy trying to do his route.
Here's where it gets
PD.
scary. Because right now, Kyler has bomb, and he loses a fight to Sin. I mean, he gets incinerated. He gets headshot at the bed. But looking at the map control now, FaZe are in pole position. I mean, they have bomb down. It's a 3v3. It's all close quarters. They have SMGs. Brandon has an AR. And Shotzzy. I mean, he's the hero of the round, obviously. We know he gets a crazy wall bang. But right now, I think he starts shooting soon, so they know he's top gas.
So he gets info on Cell. I think Cell also sees him with the shoulder. I actually don't know if Cell sees him right there.
We start shooting right here.
So, yeah, he's going to put some shots into Cell. He's going to jump down, and we're going to see a crazy wall bang. So Kyler was actually walking to the bathroom, and we were asking him if he saw his fucking triangle through the wall right here.
I mean, this looks insane.
This looks insane. They know that they're obviously guarding bomb in there. So this is kind of a corner that you would expect. But for him to have the game sense in a round 11 round to do this is...
And Simp can't believe it.
It's impressive. Simp just fucking loses his mind. He's like, what? Like
he just can't believe it.
He doesn't even know what to call out there because he doesn't have a damn red dot on his mini maps. He doesn't know where he gets shot from. And then moving forward, they get bombed down and Cell drops, Slasher in a 1v3, and nothing you can do there.
Yeah, great play from Ant.
Great play from Ant.
That's just a freak play. Like that's just like he starts wall banging a door. It happens that Simp's in that corner. Yeah. And they get the bomb down, 3v2 scenario, and FaZe is forced to retake. So some crazy plays, some insightful plays, a lot of misplays still at this point in the game by teams that just shouldn't be making these like day one mistakes, right? Like P3, like let's play our life.
Riley, don't show my screen
Let's hold
right now,
corners. But that's going to do it for the deep dive. Obviously, please let us know if that was the perfect length, if you like less clips, more clips, whatever you want, whatever criticism you have, please let us know.
Actually, Riley, don't show my screen this whole segment, actually, because I'm on my Twitter and I'm not trying to leak my DMs and shit like that.
Yeah.
So, that was our deep dive. Got a lot of clips in there. Hopefully you guys gained something from it, maybe some insight. I'm not talking
Jamie.
Next up,
we have
go ahead,
Thin Ice.
Yeah, and I don't think it's really a surprise who's on thin ice this week, Zin. The fucking logo even matches the team that's on it.
It's surprising.
The colors for our logo matches the team that's on it. Who is it?
It's surprising. It's Seattle Surge, man. I mean, Seattle Surge is the team that we expect to be placing top 4, top 5, a team that extends series. I mean, you have a player like Pred who a lot of people consider him the best player in the world, if not top 2, top 3 SMG. You have an incredible Slayer in Sib, but
Seattle also looked like they were turning it around a little bit.
Yep.
Heading into Major 4, we had Seattle in our top 3 as in contenders for the event.
I do want to add something because me and Lamar are very close friends. He's actually my workout partner.
Okay. You don't want to get your ass beat now.
No. I'll slap.
You'll slap him?
Yeah. We spoke about it, and to be fair, Pred went to Australia after the major.
That's
fair.
fair.
They only had 2 days of practice. He had to go home and do some stuff. So
yeah.
To be fair, lack of practice. But my biggest worry now is if they're mental boomed. I mean, you have that play with Mac at the major where they get knocked out when a lot can argue that they probably should have won that series and extended their tournament run.
I think they should have. I think they should have won that series.
They should have at least extended that tournament run.
If that clutch goes differently, I think they win that.
And then fast forward to just losing like the way they're losing now. I think there was a 3-0 dominant victory from Ultra. It's like, does Seattle start checking themselves out mentally? Are they still bringing that same confidence and momentum and that slang ability that we know that they have, or are they going to fall off the horse? And so far, they're looking a little underwhelming.
So I have a couple stats. So since beating FaZe 3-0 on 4/15, their control is 2-2 or 2-3 actually versus 18-11 before. So Their control's starting to slip. And honestly, really all their game modes are besides Search and Destroy. 3 and 4 in Search at 42% versus 12 and 25 before. So we've been talking about Seattle, how their Search and Destroy has been improving, and they've finally been getting some wins under their belt. And honestly, that was their only really flaw before that was their Search and Destroy because it was so bad.
Bad.
They were on like an 11, 12 game Search and Destroy losing streak, which I think they tied the record. But they started to fix their Search and Destroy up. But now they're starting to struggle in other modes, and that's how it can sometimes be in Call of Duty. You rise in one thing, and it's going to affect something else because you're focusing on it more in practice. But Hardpoint, they're 4 and 4 versus 31 and 20 before. So even their Hardpoint, they're going 50% in it.
And let me just say, I'm not sure what's going on recently with them, but they need to return to like their bread and butter, and that is Lamar's in the hill and Pred is roaming. I've seen Pred
get a minute in hill.
I'm seeing Pred with a minute in the hill, and I'm like, he's a team player. No.
Get him out of that fucking
Lamar
hill.
needs to be in the hill because that's the way this team thrives. Pred's going to go run and gun and slay. Sib is one of the most talented flexes in the league. He can drop 40 at any given moment. And I do think Mac is their X factor. I do hold Mac to a high standard. I think he's getting a lot of flack recently, and I can't lie, it's kind of deserved. I mean, he's been underperforming recently, but he plays the game fundamentally correct. He helps his teammates on the map. He sets them up correctly, and he does have a lot of talent that we've seen before. My only worry with Mac is if his confidence is starting to slip.
Yeah, I don't think his confidence is slipping at all in Respawn. Maybe a little bit. I think it's just in the 1v1s. Obviously, we see a 1v1, him versus Insight, when they played Toronto, and Insight just jumps off the top rope and just chows. And Mac's getting put in these 1v1 scenarios where it looks like he should win and he doesn't, and slowly but surely, that can kind of affect your mental and get into your head a little bit. In Hardpoint, he's only been down by 0.15, which is kind of a lot.
Yeah.
So maybe it is affecting him a little bit, and I hope he pulls out of it because Mac's the X factor for that team, and when he's not playing so hot,
they're in a scary spot.
Yeah, they're in a scary spot.
Seattle
can turn it around. Like, it's one of those
correct.
teams, though, that can just flip the switch and come right back.
There is not a single team. This team can go 0-5, and if you're playing Seattle round one in that event, you're like, we got to fucking bring it.
You got to turn up.
Seattle, just based on their roster and their sheer talent and their pop-off ability with players like Pred and Sib, they're always a threat.
And Seattle's only played one match this major, but
it's kind of going like...
They play Texas next. They play... Who do they play after that? They play Breach after that. They play New York after that. So they have a hard-ass schedule.
It's a mix of like the Major 4 bow out as well as just the tough start. I mean, they got 3-0 slammed.
Yeah, it was a tough start. But that's thin ice with Seattle. Hopefully they turn it around. I think they have so much talent in the world on that team. They have two incredible new players in the league.
Up for this one.
And Mac, the X Factor, needs to turn up a little bit. And Lamar needs to get in that fucking hill. But who are we to fucking judge?
It's time for my favorite segment. I'm warming up. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for... It is my personal favorite. It's just too fun. It's time for Rapid Fire. If you guys know it, you love it. If you don't love it, there's something wrong with you. It's the game show within the game show.
Let me scooch over a little bit here. Get away from me.
So if you guys don't know how the game works, our producers, Riley...
We ended up tying in the last one as well. In the last split,
we tied last split, and... I mean, we're dumb, and these questions are pretty difficult sometimes. You're dumb. I'm smart. You're dumb. I'm bright. Basically, the way it works,
I think you're dumb.
We each have 10 questions that we ask one another. As soon as it starts, there's a minute on the timer for each person. Whoever gets more questions correct in the allotted minute wins this round of Rapid Fire. I'll let you pick. You want to ask me first, or I ask you first?
I want to ask you first. I want the pressure to be on me.
All right.
I thrive under the pressure. I'm like a diamond.
I want as much time as possible. I need you. You're going to say 3, 2, 1, go.
Correct.
And that timer is going to start, and you're going to start firing them off. And ask in order, by the way. None of this horse shit where you mix and match, because I ask in order.
Okay, I'll ask in order.
Okay.
I'm weird, so we obviously have 10 questions for the segment.
What's worse is they try embarrassing me.
I'll ask from the bottom to the top.
Yeah, it's
because the bottom ones are harder, so I'll start him with the hard ones, and then he starts to get flustered, and then you give him the easy ones, but he's already tweaking, so he just starts missing them.
Notice how fucking weird this kid is to
very competitive.
Take a lighthearted game show
it's not lighthearted
on our show.
No, it's not lighthearted.
Like, you are just... Okay, let's go. Ask.
It's not lighthearted to me.
Come on, ask. 3, 2, 1, go.
I ask first.
Yes.
3, 2, 1, Riley, start that clock. Before Scrappy, who held the CDL Respawn kill record for 2023?
Arcides?
How many kills? You need to get both.
42.
Correct. Which control map has finished by eliminations only one time?
Shit.
It's a 1 in 3.
Shit. No, what is it? It's Expo.
No. Oh my God, that was a
Decilo.
freebie. Who originally said, you can't snipe like that, Clay, before Mr. X?
Aches.
Yes. What brand of beer did Hex introduce to us on the watch party?
Tecate? Is that what's called? Tecate?
Yes.
Okay, hurry
Which
up.
Black
Come
Ops
on.
3 specialists use gravity spikes in overdrive?
I don't know. Go. Keep going.
Which Canada-based coffee chain once collaborated with Justin Bieber?
Tim Hortons.
Yes. What was the capacity of the venue Rockard played in yesterday?
2,500. 2,600.
Which one?
2,600.
Yes. Which actor played the antagonist in Advanced Warfare campaign?
No idea.
Finish the sentence. Good night, Damon.
My sweet, sweet Damon.
Which CDL player is referred to as the Pioneer?
Tej. Oh, I'm not sure if I'm not sure if I got that one in time.
You did.
No.
What the fuck are these questions?
No, I mean in time. Like I think I hit 0 before I answered because you were fucking slow.
Yeah, I read it slow on purpose.
Okay, let's
Does
play.
that last one count? What is it? What is the?
I don't know. We'll bring it back to the producers. Okay, are you ready?
I'm
Are you ready? I'm gonna say 3, 2, 1,
I'm
go.
gonna lose this. You just
Okay.
got like 6.
No, these are easy.
Okay.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Who did Afro call a plum after losing to Breach?
Wake.
Correct. How many deaths did Kenny have versus Toronto in Map 1 yesterday?
42.
Correct. Mutineers are rumored to be rebranding to what name next season?
I actually don't know this. The Miami Heretics.
Correct. Which character in MW2 has a voice actor that stars in Grey's Anatomy?
Soap.
Yes. What was the name of Prophet's special ability in Black Ops 4?
Prophet.
Yes.
Vision Pulse.
No.
Wait,
Toronto.
no. Tempest.
Yes.
Tempest.
Toronto is the capital of which Canadian province?
British Columbia. Vancouver.
No. What date do COD fans refer to as Zuma Day?
423.
Correct. Which COD does the Watch Party Prestige sound come from?
COD 4.
No.
MW2.
Dude, no. Your first. Which COD player spawns in to defend his castle?
Bowser. Or Afro.
You were too late.
Afro.
Holy fuck! These were easy, Riley.
Afro. I got that.
No,
Buzzer
you
beater.
didn't. No.
I win,
It hit
you
0
lose,
first.
you
No.
lose.
It hit 0 first. Are you kidding me? Miami Heretics
0,
Awakening.
There's still like 0.1.
Oh, okay, so I get mine then too.
Then I won still.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
If it's a tie, I think you ask me one more question, I get 5 more seconds.
I mean, you're not going to get the last one.
All right, let's hear it.
It's what is the title of my latest YouTube video?
I'm a big flap?
No. What's the rest of my questions?
Huh?
What are the rest of my questions?
Hold on, let me. You got all yours because I actually read at a proficient fucking rate. You were reading before
hold on.
Scrappy,
Hold on,
who
hold
held
on,
the
hold on.
CDL respawn kill record.
Hold on. Is it fair that, because to be fair, you got the Tempest one wrong, then you switched your answer, and then you got the...
I got it right. Don't be an asshole.
No, you didn't. At first you said...
I didn't lock it in, though.
You said Vision Pulse.
Well, I didn't lock it in, though.
Whatever.
Don't be an asshole. I win that one. Thank you, Riley.
Go fuck yourself, man.
That's a W. That's a wump. That's a wump in the chat. Thank you.
Dog shit.
Next up, guys, Rapid Fire has concluded. We've got Prize Picks.
You guys know the deal. If you guys don't know how Prize Picks works, essentially me and you are competing against each other.
Correct.
And whoever has a bigger balance week to week wins that specific weekend.
So what was yours? Is it
Check.
You're at 485 right now. I'm at 370.
So I win.
I was throwing up prayers this weekend.
Yeah, so was
and they
I.
were not hitting.
So yeah, basically we're competing
Riley, you can
against
show
each
my
other.
screen right now.
But there is no real loser because the winner gets to donate $10,000 to a charity of our choice.
Correct.
I chose the Anxiety and Depression Association of America, and you chose Gamers Outreach.
Correct. Absolutely.
So walk them through Prize Picks. Let's show them our Prize Picks. Obviously, we put in some picks on the watch party.
I was throwing up the bullshit today. I can't lie.
We go for more or less, and it kind of varies because some players, like for example, this one sticks out to me. One day I thought Asim was going to go for less, and he almost breaks the kill record.
Yeah, that was not ideal. All right, here we go. Couple of mine from today. I'm only going to give you guys 3 or 4 because I threw in a whole bunch of them. Hydra I had for more and map 3 kills. He did not deliver. Kenny I had less. He did deliver. To be fair, that was a very quick map though. The map 3 today it was a beating on El Asilo.
Yep.
You guys can see where I was going here. I actually messed up. So I wanted to put 50 in, and I messed up, so I had to put 30 and then 20. So these are the same exact thing.
Okay.
Next up, I had Caesar for more than 7, and then Kenny for more than 7. I thought Kenny was going to, like, turn up. You know what I'm saying?
Well, map 2 was a weird one, too.
It was hotel.
Yeah, map 2 was weird. I feel like no one, like, specifically, like, popped off. It was more just, like, even across the board.
I mean, you guys can see I was getting desperate during this one.
Yeah.
I was getting desperate during this one. I threw up Kenny versus Skies in the same series, more for 23.5, more for 20.5. Both didn't hit. And then this one finally hit. I'll show the one that I hit.
Show them
Chill
what the winner's working with.
Chill out. I had maps 1 through 3, less for Slasher, more for Brandon. He hits. Riley, hide the screen while I switch.
Yeah, let's show the winner.
Yeah.
Tony. And guys, because I won, you could use code METHODS when signing up for Prize Picks for up to a $100 match on your first deposit. So if you deposit 100, you get 100. If you deposit 50, you get a free 50. I will walk you through.
Walk it through.
So let's skip the L. Let's scroll down a little bit. Obviously, keep going. I threw in some L's. Yeah.
Okay.
And there it is. Ghosty and Slasher, Fortress Map 1. I took more for 21.5 for Ghosty and more for Slasher.
Fortress is a more map.
And I threw in
for sure.
I threw in a 100 bomb for that one.
That's why you're in the lead right now.
Correct.
That is strictly why. All right. Give us 2 more that you want to give us.
Yeah, so I mean, just like you scroll up to the Kismet and Octane one, Octane usually drops like 7 or 8 on Hotel Search sometimes.
He does.
And Kismet was having a good map 1. He was popping off, so I figured Kismet would carry that momentum. Scroll up once more. Another L from me. Less for Kenny. That was beautiful. Hydra. Obviously, Hydra can pop off at any moment.
The map 3 was quick.
Sometimes he does it. Map 3 ended
It was
too
a
quick.
3-0. Like, it was a super quick map.
Yeah.
But yeah, Zinni ends up beating me today, so he gets to promote his code. Go for it.
I did. Why don't you promote it for me this time?
Yeah. Use code methods. Riley, don't show my screen again. When you deposit anything up to 100 with our promo codes, we match dollar for dollar. Make your picks. Choose less or more. You can win up to 25 times. You can make picks on a variety of sports: esports, NFL, NBA, COD, CS:GO. Easy to make, very quick to make picks, fast withdrawals, and download Prize Picks and use code
METHODS. That's METHODZ. Once again, a $100 match, up to a $100 match on your first deposit. So
I'm gonna beat you by the end of it. We only have what, two more weekends, and then we have the major, and then we have champs. So we only have 4 more weekends.
That's fine. I'm gonna go low.
Yeah, that would be weird.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
All right, folks. Shouts out to Prize Picks. Thank you very much to them. But next up, we've got the top 10 for the week, and Zinni ended up doing this one. We usually take turns stepping away from the watch party so we can do the top 10.
This was the toughest one yet. I'm not even kidding. We have like 20, 25 clips, and I had to condense that into 10. So there are probably some clips that you're thinking of that just didn't make the top 10 just due to the sheer amount of clips that we had. Like,
it is also
players
hard.
were going off.
In our defense, we are not ESPN, so it's kind of hard during the last match to pull this because we have to pull the clip, render the video, get the video on the computer. So if there are some clips that we don't have from later in the day, that's probably why it is hard. It's not easy to do. Shouts out to Roger. Walk us through clip 1.
Yeah, so here we are, ladies and gentlemen, the top 10. Kyler, I mean, the kid's been lights out. I mean, you're going to see it. He's just running around kitchen, having his way, cooking it up in the kitchen like Ratatouille.
His FOV looks so wide here.
Yeah, it does.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure Kyler plays on like a 90 FOV, but yeah, big 2-piece there. He pushes out the back. I love the play right there.
Yep.
Take the fight to him. Get the 3-piece in the back.
Number 9, this is Big Bruce today with that snipe.
I think this might have, for just shock factor, this could have been a little higher. But 9,
okay.
Honestly, it was a snipe. It was a good clutch.
Wait till you see the rest, dude. Trust me. It's so much harder than you thought this one was. Watch it. No, I agree. Based on shock factor, it was crazy. It was an insane. He had one shot.
Abizi can't help but fucking laugh.
How about you at least watch the rest before you judge my placements? Is that fair? Is that fair?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait till his camera goes off. You'll be dealt with.
Yeah. Yeah, good play by Brandon.
Fist.
Veteran play. Abizi just can't help but
Number
laugh
8.
it off.
This is a Brack 1v3.
Brack attack.
This is a beautiful 1v3. I mean, we said it earlier.
Brack had a great series today.
And this is to extend this to 5-4. I mean, to be fair, LAG should lose this 1-6-3. Carson Newberry, he's finessing the pack like Messi. He actually gets that Q on assault there. Yeah,
I love the timing.
Great timing.
Here. Gets info on him, knows assault's going to back up, and just takes his timing and takes the gunfight to him right here. Good read on Exceed. A lot of people didn't like how Exceed played this, but he's just trying to check the bomb.
It was a good play from Brack, man. Big 1v3 from Brack.
Yeah, big play from Brack.
Number 7. And this is the Nabisi 4-piece.
Yeah, this kid's nuts.
He finds 4. I mean, if someone's getting a 4-piece, he has no choice but to be in the top 10.
I remember this. He gets it done with the sub. He gets it done with the AR. The only reason why he dies here or gets back down is because he runs out of bullets.
Correct.
Literally.
And this is a huge 1v2 from TJ, just based on the sheer importance of Vegas' run right now. Like,
Game 5.
This is huge.
They lose this match. I mean, match by match, it dwindles very fast.
Yep.
Obviously, they're in the race right now to make champs or not make champs. If he doesn't make this clutch, they might be 10 points less, and 10 points less right now might eliminate them.
Yeah.
Depending on, obviously, how the rest of this goes. Tej, obviously, we call him the pioneer, or at least Brandon does. Waits out Hydra here. They both play it patient. Tej gets a good timing, kills both of them off bomb. Heads up play, clutch play from Big Tej.
Yep. And now we're in our top 5. For number 5, this is Insight's huge 1v2. I mean to
off
close out the map.
Fucking rope.
Yeah, I mean, he wins an insane fight on Mac. Obviously, Mac's been having a tough go of things when it comes down to the 1v1s.
Yeah. So Insight takes care of Sib in the top window, and then just... Is Jeff Hardy a good reference here? I didn't really watch WWE.
The Swanton bomb from Jeff Hardy.
Jeff Hardy, off the top rope, gets the headshot multiplier, takes out Mac, and Insight can't believe it. He's like, ooh.
Donkey!
Yeah, he just...
And number 4, Scrap. I mean, he single-handedly breaks P5 to close out a map versus Thieves.
And the series winning map.
Yes, exactly. And that's why it's just so impactful, and that's why it's at number 4.
I mean, that was...
What?
Here we go, moving forward. Donnie, this was fucking disgusting
This 4-piece was fucking crazy.
This was disgusting. It's against Optic, obviously, so it adds a little bit more because Optic is also disgusting. Donnie with a 4-piece. That was a big-time 4-piece. It takes pressure.
Yeah.
Big time.
And this is Afro. I mean, he goes insane in the base of London. Granted, it's versus London, but just a player being in your base and finessing like this and finding kill.
The pack like Messi, you say. I don't know what that means. I'm just parroting.
Like finessing like Messi does. Okay.
Nonetheless,
Afro just runs rampant in their base, and every time you think he's going to die, he somehow finds more. So Afro goes nuts. And for number 1, we have an ace from Standy here. It's an ace, so picking number 1 for this was impossible. What would you put at number 1 if it wasn't this?
It's fine, man.
But no, I'm asking. Is this a good number 1?
Yeah, it's good.
Are you being serious?
No, it was just the freest 3-piece of all time.
Okay, so who are you putting at number 1?
I don't know. It's a good question.
It's impossible. It was literally impossible to pick a number 1.
People were like, oh, I mean, yeah, he takes his timing, but like, come on. I mean, there's golds that are getting that 3-piece.
Yeah.
It was a good play by Standy to obviously take his space, but New York was just, I don't know what the fuck they were doing right there. They looked like they were on Mars. Yeah, and then a little extra clip for you guys. It's the fire extinguisher. We already broke it down. Gets hit in the mouth. Peace, fellow. I mean, the fire extinguisher literally lights up his ass.
Yeah.
It just takes him out like a firecracker.
Correct.
So, yeah, Deceives goes in, wins that. That's after a Brack 1v3, so that's the bad news bears. Exceed is just losing his absolute wig laughing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our top 10, ladies and gentlemen.
We are lacking bad right now.
Who?
Us.
What do you mean?
It is a big old F right now. Guys, I'm aware of it.
Who's
I have
lagging?
you guys up our stream.
Is it how 1 to 10? 1 to 10 lagged.
It's 10.
It's 10?
Our internet's spiking. We're receiving word that the internet is spiking, and we obviously can't do anything about that. So usually next is the call of community, and if that doesn't fix, we're not going to be able to do the call of community.
Well, they are saying 10, so yeah, the lag is not great. Is it fixing?
It looks like it's getting a little better, but not voices, just video.
Is it fixing?
Not really, no. Oh, but okay, so they're saying they can hear us fine.
Audio's good?
Yeah, audio is good. Well, if that's the case, I mean, yeah, the video will be up on YouTube and also will be on Spotify. So if our audio is not lagging and you guys can hear us nonstop, then I think we do call of community. Guys, ask some questions in chat.
I mean, to be fair, yeah, just audio. Yeah. Do you want to pull up the Twitter? O'Reilly, do not pull up my screen, please.
You want to do Twitter, I'll do Twitch, or vice versa?
I'll do Twitter, you can do Twitch.
Okay. Guys, I'm taking questions, or welcome to Call of Community, obviously our segment where we take questions from the community. On the Breakdown Pod Twitter, we ask for questions every weekend. And and you guys ask your questions. So Scumpy will be picking questions from the Twitter. That's Breakdown Pod on Twitter. Make sure to ask your question there and follow the Twitter for everything Breakdown. And now we have, I will also be looking at Twitch chat for questions. So guys, ask any questions regarding this weekend, the CDL in general, please. We'd love to answer.
So I'll take this first one from Twitter, from OG Susano. He says, do you feel Arcides finds himself in a better position next year, or does LAG blow up the entire brand and wait for the new management group to save Arcides and get him a team? I'm not going to say the end because goodness, but yeah. Do you think Alec finds himself in a better position? Personally, dude, I just don't see how he can, because I'm pretty sure Alec signed an extended contract.
Yeah.
And obviously the contract's like, there's really no getting out of them. Whenever you're in them, you're pretty much stuck inside of that contract. So personally, I can't see him getting out of it. Maybe he gets a different team around him. I don't know, but LAG's been struggling. So I'm actually curious to see what they do moving into our offseason, because they've been down bad lately.
Yeah, to be fair, a lot of questions around LAG. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I think Alec's been hot and cold this year. Granted, his team isn't very good, so it's hard for a player to be consistently great or playing well consistently when the team just isn't good. So I think the whole community still holds Alec in high regard. So among the players, I don't think his stock has plummeted or anything, but
no.
It just depends on what's going on at LAG. So I feel like right now we can't really answer that.
Yeah. Would you like to take one? I have another one lined up if you want me to just keep flowing. The Twitter questions are fantastic. Thank you to everyone that's submitted. I like this question a lot. It's a speculative question from the Shmoney _. He said, is there any chance a team throws a super mega bag at one of the FaZe trio during the offseason and breaks up their team? Or out of those three, who do you think would leave first? Cell or BZ right now?
You think Cell or BZ would leave first?
I think Cell or BZ right now, people might throw a fucking bag.
Yeah.
To be completely honest.
Yeah. Also a tough question. I think that trio has had so much success, and we know how close of friends that they are, that breaking them up would be very tough, and the figure would have to be high. And granted, based on the current economic esports climate, I'm not sure how rogue one of these teams will be willing to go. And it also depends on the rest of the year. I mean, FaZe is a team that could pop off at any given moment.
It would also depend on if they even want to break up. I mean, like you said, that team has had a lot of success together. They've been through a lot together. They've won multiple world championships, right?
Yeah.
They've won multiple world championships.
I think, have they won two? Or just one?
Cold War, and then BO4 for Simp.
Yeah.
And Abizi, Simp and Abizi. So the Tiny Tears have won two together.
Okay.
Cell has won one with them. But still, I don't know if they really would leave each other. Obviously, money's money, and money is security. Money is great if you're a player to get locked into a longer-term contract and solidify your financial future. But I don't know. I really don't know if they would end up leaving each other if a bag big enough was thrown at them. It's kind of hard to speculate about, because they have been so successful. If they struggle to the point where they stop getting top 3 consistently every event, then potentially.
Yeah.
But I personally, I don't see it happening. You want me to pull another one?
Moneyman asked, what dollar amount would it take for you two to come out of retirement?
I would rather not say.
Yeah?
No.
All right, fine. We won't answer that one. To be fair, I think our figures are probably a little different. I think you might be a little more expensive.
You're fucking dumb.
I think you might be a little more expensive. Do 100T pick up Pred for Kenny next year? And that's a question from Ryan Jones. I think questions like that right now are just impossible to answer, because champs is like the most important thing in Call of Duty. So if Thieves go out and win champs, they're not going to make a change. I mean, most teams, if they make champs, aren't going to make changes. So that question is impossible to answer. I mean, there's just no way to know what's going to happen with rosters, because we don't know what's going to happen at Major 5 or COD champs.
Yeah. Thieves they won champs. They're champions this year. Yeah, they're struggling right now online, but let's not jump the gun here. Thieves have always kind of struggled online. They've always been better on LAN. I don't think that would happen. Personally, I don't think that would happen. But you never know with Call of Duty rosters. I don't think they should do that, and I don't think they will do that. So that's my take on it.
I actually like this one. Mr. Juke asks, who was one player from a bottom 4 team that could join a top 8 team and make them better?
Hook. LAG this year.
Oh, okay, no. Currently.
Current?
That's a fucking cheat code you just pulled out of your
For
ass.
free.
Yeah, for free.
For free.
Current. I'm thinking...
Current. Out of the bottom 4 right now.
Well, I mean, I guess Vegas is bottom 4, and I don't really... I personally don't consider Vegas a bottom 4 team right now. I think Rocker is worse than Vegas.
I think Seattle now.
I mean, Seattle's looking a little tough, too. I think my front runners for that question, Nasty. Asim, depending on his situation, I think could thrive.
Asim played very, very good at the start of the year.
Yeah.
Very good.
Honestly, right now, I think I'm going Nasty.
Nasty?
Yeah, I'm going Nasty.
Nasty's been, again, you say it a lot, he's been like that ray of light for the London organization. I feel like even when the...
Fucking Shakespeare, that ray of light. Keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's been that one player on their team that has kind of been consistent. And, they're not getting the results that they obviously would like to have, but I still think that he's been, consistent and has done his thing. I don't remember how he played last year, though. I don't remember how good Nasty was last year, but this year he's been pretty solid, at least in my eyes. Any other teams? People are saying like people from Vegas, and I don't see that. Amar said, do you feel like the CDL season is too short with champs being in June? I will
That's
answer
a good
this.
question.
Yeah, I will say I don't think the season is too short. I think that the amount of matches played are too little.
Yeah.
I think the season is fine. It's about, 8 months? It started this year in December. It's about 7 months long, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like the season isn't too short. I do feel like the amount of matches played are too little.
I agree with you.
Yeah. You have another question?
100%. Not really, because we're all talking about audio right now. So I think we just go Twitter for the rest. Guys, any questions real quick? I'd love to take a couple more from Twitch chat while you look for one maybe on Twitter. With current standings, which 2 teams are in champs finals? I mean, I'm still going Thieves Optic right now. Right now, I still think Thieves and Optic are top 2. I'm not looking too deep into Thieves' 0-2 start this stage. They are worse online statistically and historically. And Optic still look dominant with a big 3-over phase today. So right now, it's still Thieves and Optic for me.
Right now, I just think Brandon is playing at a level that is just it's a very high level. I think Brandon has been playing out of his fucking mind. If Brandon keeps that up, obviously Kyler and Shotzi, like that dynamic duo. Kyler has just been playing phenomenal, and Ant just kind of is unlocking him. So I think right now Optic and Thieves would be my front runners, but you can never count out like the phase or Toronto has started to look really good again. Like there's still a lot of time in between now and champs. So there's a lot of time for teams to get better, get worse. It's really hard to say right now, but if it were right now, I would say Optic and Thieves in the final.
That's fair. Anything on Twitter? Who can do more push-ups, you or Scump? Right now, definitely me. I'm smoking you to push-up competition right now.
I mean, I've been eating like an ass.
I'm fucking swole. Business advice? What am I, Grant Cardone?
I don't really have any other... I mean, there's trolley ones, but I don't really have too many more.
Zinni, will you do a back reveal if Optic go back-to-back at Major 5 and Champs? Sure, I'll show you guys my back in a hot tub stream. You like that? And on that note, I think we call it.
You want to call it there?
My back. Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of these questions are redundant. It's a lot of questions that are contingent on the rest of the year, so we can't really answer roster questions or roster change questions because we can't see the future. I mean,
we are not.
I'm not Doctor Strange.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much. We put in a lot of time and effort, and we really hope that you guys are enjoying this type of show. Please, I know I say it a lot, any criticism or adjustments or segments that you love, you maybe don't love, segments you would alter, please let us know. Tweet at BreakdownPod on Twitter. We will see it. And thank you guys, man. If we can get a W spam if you guys enjoyed, please. Once again, sorry for the lag.
Yeah, not much we can do.
But it was a great weekend. We love doing this for you guys. And if we can improve it in any way, please let us know because this show was made for you guys.
Absolutely. Thank you all very much. Hope you guys had a great time throughout the whole weekend, really. Yep. Thanks for joining us. And we will catch you guys more during the week with personal streams. And then we'll catch you next week with the watch party.
Also,
in the next episode of The Breakdown.
if you're watching live, I need you checking out the YouTube and the Spotify. We're on Spotify. Would love to see you guys showing some love there. And until next time, Tony, Abner, we love you.
Absolutely. Thank you, folks.